In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace a CV axle on a Ford Escape. It is located behind the front wheel. After you raised and supported your vehicle safely, you need to remove your 5 lug nuts. As you can see, one of our lug nuts, the cap fell off. That makes that a 19 millimeter. The rest of these are 3/4. Remove your wheel. After you remove your wheel, you need to remove your axle nut, which is 1 1/4 inches. On the back side of your rotor, you're going to have your outer tie rod with a 15 millimeter nut. You need to remove that nut. After removing your nut, you need to remove your outer tie rod from your knuckle. You can hit your knuckle with a rubber hammer to release the pressure. Underneath the vehicle, you have your pinch bolt for your lower ball joint. You need to remove that. It is a 15 millimeter bolt with an 18 millimeter nut. You need to remove your lower ball joint from your knuckle. You can use a tool like this. Pull straight down and remove your ball joint from the knuckle. Push your knuckle off to the side. Once you remove your lower ball joint from your knuckle, you want to slide your axle out from the back side of the knuckle. You can push out on the knuckle and pull in on the drive shaft. On the inside part of your axle where it goes into your transfer case, you have a bracket with 2 13 millimeter nuts. You need to remove those. Before you remove your axle out of your transfer case, you might want to put a bucket underneath because sometimes fluid does come out of the transfer case. To remove your axle, tap it with the hammer right on the bearing where you remove that bracket. Now remove your axle from your transfer case. Before we install our axle, this is a good time to clean and just make sure your axle seal isn't ripped or torn. This one looks good. Also, before you install your axle has a bearing that rides into this metal bracket. You want to clean that metal bracket. And the cap. Take a new axle, slide it through, and into your transfer case. Once your axle is through into your transfer case, take a rubber mallet to the other end and tap it until it seats. Now reinstall the outside bracket. Tighten the 2 nuts. You want to torque those 2 nuts down to 18 foot-pounds. Now we can reinstall our axle into our knuckle. Now we're going to pull down on our lower control arm and reinstall our ball joint into our knuckle. Now we can install our pinch bolt. And tighten it down. And that gets torqued down to 61 foot-pounds. Now reinstall your outer tie rod into your knuckle and install your nut. That nut gets torqued down to 35 foot-pounds. Now install your axle nut and tighten it down. To torque your axle nut, you're going to have somebody either sit in the vehicle in the driver's seat, put their foot on the brake so this rotor doesn't move, or you can take a simple wrench, install it on a lug nut stud onto your brake caliper, and torque it yourself. That nut gets torqued down to 97 foot-pounds. Since our transfer case did leak a little bit of oil, you want to fill that to the manufacturer specifications. Just to the left of your right axle, there's a T50 Torx bolt. You need to remove that. That's where you install your fluid until it starts to run out. Then you reinstall your bolt. And torque that down to 15 foot-pounds. Reinstall your wheel, slide it over the studs, and install your lug nuts. You want to tighten those in a star pattern. You want to torque each nut down at 100 foot-pounds in a star pattern. Once your wheel is on, let's take it for a road test to make sure you don't hear any funny noises, and then bring it to a shop for a front end alignment.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.